All right, y'all, so we are back with another Car Chronicles video, but this time I had the phone in what's it, landscape? I can't even think right now. I worked a 9-hour shift just now, man, after working 6 days straight, so kind of out of it right now, but we're gonna push through, right? So some of y'all have asked me about this event that happened, bruh, that's tough. The cap of the hand sanitizer went over there somewhere. But some of y'all had asked me about an event that transpired yesterday, right? In Union Square in New York. And y'all know I live pretty close to New York, very close to New York. I'm right next to it. So some of y'all asked me, if I heard about it or anything like that. At first I didn't, but yesterday when it actually happened, because when y'all watch this, probably Sunday, or so it'll probably be, I'll probably do a double upload, so you'll probably see Sunday. So this happened Friday, right? And at the time I didn't know about it, but then my brother had told me about it, so I looked it up. I didn't even know what was going on. Like, I didn't know anything at all or anything. I just searched up NYC and I saw this whole thing going on. If you all know what I'm talking about, pretty much, I mean, if you search up NYC, it probably pop up. This is Twitch streamer, right? I'm not gonna say name because I don't wanna like bring that energy stuff like that to his channel, because y'all know we won't do that worldly stuff over here. But there's a Twitch streamer, right, that did a giveaway. Right, it was giving away, I think it was like some PS5s and PCs and other stuff, right? If y'all remember the Car Chronicles video, it was like either the first or second or third one I did. I was talking about Twitch streamers and stuff like that. I was talking about a certain community on Twitch. This is the community that I was talking about, right? So they were doing the giveaway, and apparently the whole thing was not like organized at all. There was like no planning or anything like that. There's no permits, none of that. They were just like pop out at this location, Union Square, at this time, right? So that happened, and there was a whole like riot, like literal riot, like actual riots going on, like people breaking stuff, like stomping people's cars and riot, like looting food carts and stuff like that. It was this whole thing, man. These kids nowadays, man. And obviously, if you're of that age, right, between like 14 and 19, and you're not part of that group, this doesn't count towards you, obviously, but your generation is just weird, man. So I don't want to make this too long, right? Because I don't want to talk about this like in that stuff. I just want to. There's some notes I want to talk about that I want to bring up, right? So the first one was the YouTuber, or was the Twitch streamer? I mean, it's both. Was the person, right, the influencer, right or wrong? Right? Okay, so from what I know about this person, right, that I used to watch this person, right? I watched this person when they first started streaming, like years ago. I think it was 2020, back when I was watching that stuff and everything like that, right? So I know this person good enough as far as like what he posts online. And at the end of the day, he's a good dude, right? He posts worldly, sinful stuff on the streams and stuff like that, brings sinful people on there and stuff like that. And like, y'all know I stay away from that stuff. But from what I know, right, from the persona that he puts online, he's a good dude. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Was he right or wrong? So, the idea that he had, right, with the giveaway and everything like that, that in itself was wasn't a bad thing, right? I feel like if you wanted to get back to the community, there'd be a little better ways, like maybe educational tools, or helping like the community out, donating food and stuff like that. I feel like there's because there's a lot of it's like a lot of stuff going on in New York with a lot of people on the streets, stuff like that. So I feel like it could have went that way, but it's what it is, right? So in that aspect of wanting to give back, he wasn't wrong, right? What the wrong part comes in was the fact that it was not organized. right? It wasn't organized. They didn't talk to the city first to let them know what was going on. They didn't talk to, they didn't get a permit or anything like that. Like, so it was this whole thing, right? I feel like not only did this influencer, they should have known the influence that they have, right? They're the number one Twitch streamer in the world. You know what I'm saying? They're the number one Twitch streamer, right? They should know, especially in a place like New York. Well, they're from New York, first of all. That's where they started. They're from New York. And how big New York is with all these young kids, you know what I'm saying? That seem as a big influence. He should know, right? Also, his team was wrong. His team should have let him know, like, this is not a good idea, or let's at least, like, do the right things, like contact the city. Because I'm pretty sure if he contacted the city or police, whatever, they would give them the step-by-step what to do. Like, okay, so you have to get this permit, we're gonna stop here, and we're gonna make sure we have barricade. Like, if they talk to him, right, that wouldn't be a problem, right? Okay, so that's my opinion on that. The idea was not wrong, but the way it went about was wrong, right? So, second point, man. Kids are getting more and more like sheep, right? And I'm gonna start driving as I talk about this point right here, because I have a 20-minute drive to get home. So, kids are like sheep, right? What I mean by that is this whole thing with, TikTok and these corn videos and everything like that, they make it so that a lot of these kids aren't able to be free thinkers, right? And that's not only this generation thing, right? Obviously it got worse this generation because, this stuff is like mainstream, right? Obviously it was in previous generations, but the internet and stuff like that wasn't as well in my generation, right? The internet was there, but wasn't like high speed and everything like how kids have now, right? How when they were young, they already had high speed internet, and obviously in the generations prior to mine, they didn't have internet at all, right? They even have personal computers. So you know what I'm saying, like, that's another reason why kids nowadays are lazy, just because stuff like that. But that's the whole thing in itself. Yeah, so kids are like sheep, right? I was watching different videos about it, getting other people's opinions, like people who are reacting to it and stuff like that, to kind of like, what I'm saying, when it comes to stuff like this and like events that I want to talk about, I try to get different opinions, right? Obviously I formulate my own, right, based on news outlets and things like that and videos, but I listen to other people's opinions and kind of see what the general consensus, I can't even talk right now, y'all know what I mean, right? And a lot of people were saying the same thing, probably there was like a couple thousand people, like 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, somewhere like that. If you've seen the images and the videos, there's a lot of people, right? And from what I've seen in the news articles, there were 65 arrests, 30 of them being juveniles, right? And it's just crazy, man. Out of all those people, right, I bet you it was a small percentage that actually were fans of this influencer that went to go see, right? They want to meet them and stuff like that. It was like a whole meet and greet giveaway thing, right? They actually wanted to meet him, as well as I think it was some people from his team, right? His like group, his influencer group. I think they went there too, because I seen like two of them got arrested as well. Obviously, I know these influencers, but I'm not gonna bring the names up. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah. So I feel like a small percentage of them actually were fans of this influencer. And I apologize for the camera shake. There's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. But kind of helped a little bit, stabilize a little bit more. Yeah, so a small percentage of those kids, right, or the people that were there, were most likely fans of the influencer, right? And then the other large amount of people that were there were most likely people who saw this large crowd, right? Well, one, probably aren't fans of the influencer, but saw a giveaway and was like, oh, I want free stuff, right? And went there. And then there's other people that are probably like, you know, it was a Friday afternoon, right? In New York, kids are bored. It's summertime, right? Worst case scenario, right? You're at a park in New York on a Friday night or Friday afternoon, summertime. Bad stuff's gonna happen. These kids don't know what to do. These kids are bored. All right. So they're just probably hanging out, right, in New York. And they seen this large group of people at this park, right, Union Square. Obviously, it's not as big as like Central Park, something like that, which would have been a lot worse. But you know, they're at this park. They're like, oh, what's going on? So they all go over there, and that's where the crowd builds up, everything like that. And then I feel like there's a good percentage of people that were there that are haters of the influencer and want negative press on his name, right? So someone, of course, starts a fight, or I don't even know how the riot started, but you know, someone starts to fight or whatever, and that's where everything breaks. You know what I'm saying? Breaks out, right? And the thing that really annoyed me was that all these kids were cared about were recording and taking pictures, right? Everybody was like doing their vlog. Everybody was recording TikToks on their Instagram stories and everything like that. All you saw were phones, man. All you saw were all that's going on, police trying to get control of the situation. All I saw were phones. Just like, you know, it was just crazy, man. It's just crazy how bad people want views and likes and stuff like that. It's like, if you searched up the influencer's name, right, on YouTube, all you see are vlogs of these random kids, you know. And the way these kids were, I'm not trying to go on a rant or anything like that. I'm just trying to explain my opinion on the situation, right? The way these kids were acting, man, like, like the way they were stomping on people's cars and, you know, just stealing from food cars, climbing on top of like the subway entrances and stuff like that. Like, these kids are so just weird, man. Like, this generation is just, again, if this doesn't apply to you, right, then it's not you, but this generation is just very weird, man. And it's really sad to see that these are the future. You know, these are the future that, you know, we're gonna have to rely on. People in my generation and older are gonna have to rely on, because obviously, like, I'm 24, right? But by the time I get in my 30s and 40s and 50s, and then they're gonna be, they're gonna be 20s, and, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously the new generation has to take care of the old generation, right? So these are the people that we have to, you know what I'm saying? To take care of us, and it's gonna get worse. You know, it's gonna get worse. I'm not even gonna go into detail about what happened. All I saw was, like, again, like with the cars, the looting and stuff like that. There was literally a girl, I think she was like 19 or something like that, or 8, I don't even know how old she was, but she was on top of like this street sign pole, right? Just twerking, and then like there were guys, like, you know what I'm saying, slapping her butt and stuff like that. And I, like, it was so disgusting, man. Like, and then it was yeah. Y'all can see for yourselves, right? Y'all can like look it up and see how these kids were acting and stuff like that. And yeah, you know. And my next point was immorality, but I just talked about what happened with that one woman and the whole street sign thing. So y'all y'all can know, right? But it's really crazy how social media and these other videos, like these corn videos, are just taking away like the free thinking mind of these young kids, to where they want to follow the next step. They want to follow what's popping. They want to follow the influencer. They want to follow the next person. They don't want to think for themselves. And it's just really sad to see, man. It's really sad to see. But yeah, I mean, the only thing we can really do as men are just to, stand up for our future families, stand up for the children we're gonna raise, and make sure that they don't turn out the way these kids are nowadays. This is gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse the deeper we get social media, with like, the OF getting normal, like mainstream normal, whatever. These content getting more and more accessible, which is crazy how young men nowadays are seeing way more, I'm saying, the N-word term, well, close, right? The N-word term. Women, they're seeing so many of those women in like a week, or not even a week, a day, right? Than they're supposed to in a lifetime, right? It's just really sad to see. But yeah, man, it's just really got to, as men, follow Christ, right? Build ourselves up as men as Christ, and just focus on things of the Spirit. That way, when our children come into the picture, right, we can teach them the same way. We can raise them the same way. We raise them how God wants us to raise them. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it, man. Again, I'm not gonna say the name of the influencer, but if you search up New York City, you will most likely see, or just search up New York City riots, or whatever you want to look up, you'll most likely see it. If y'all know about the riots going on, or the riots that happened, and you have your own opinion, let me know in the comments. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are, because I'm very curious. This whole thing was just crazy, man, and it's really sad to see. But with that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one. Your brother Aaron out. Peace.